What's going on, everybody? RJ Ochoa here from SB Nation's bloggingtheboys.com. We hope all is well wherever you are. We hope you're happy, safe, healthy, and man, we are all sad. We are all sad, and we are all hoping the best for Dak Prescott. The Dallas Cowboys got their second win of the season on Sunday afternoon, a 37-34 victory over the New York Giants. The Cowboys are now 2-3, and they're 1-0 in the NFC East. They are in first place in the NFL's most storied division. It is a real heavyweight battle here in 2020 to see who's going to come out of the NFC East. All kidding aside, this is one of the most bittersweet victories the Cowboys have had in some time. The Cowboys entered this game really beaten up. The Cowboys obviously have lost Tyron Smith for the season, Lyle Collins for the season. They've been dealing with no Leighton Vander Esch, no Sean Lee, no Chidobe Awuzie. They did get Anthony Brown back in this game, who did return a fumble for a touchdown, by the way. But the Cowboys suffered the biggest loss that you can take in the game of professional football. Quarterback Dak Prescott went down in the third quarter with an ankle injury. Dak Prescott had successful surgery on his ankle late Sunday night, by the way, even before Sunday Night Football was over. And while we await official confirmation, Dak Prescott is set to miss the remainder of the season. Now, the Cowboys, as you know, signed Andy Dalton in the offseason. We have a film review of Andy Dalton's skills if you want to check out our Blogging the Boys YouTube channel library and go see what the Cowboys have in the red rifle. But man, this took a lot of wind out of the sails. As you can see, I'm sporting my victory polo because any day that follows a Cowboys win is a victory polo Monday. But I don't know what to say here, and I feel like I speak for a lot of us, because when you win, it's a great feeling, but I mean, where do we go from here? You know, Dak Prescott is the unquestioned leader of the Dallas Cowboys. He's one of the best players, if not maybe the best player on the Dallas Cowboys. He plays the most important position, and ever since he's been affiliated with the Dallas Cowboys, he's never not played. Dak Prescott has started every game since his rookie year and had all sorts of success and threw for more yards in the first 4 games of this season than any player ever has in a season's first 4 games, and looked like he was going to shatter all sorts of records, and maybe if the Cowboys could get some wins, compete for this year's most valuable player. And this season is obviously very unique in terms of challenges and what our world is dealing with, but the Cowboys somehow, because of the division they play in that we've already referenced here, we're in this thing, and maybe they're still in this thing, and it's hard. I think that we're all kind of floating in between emotions, right? On one hand, we're saying, okay, the Cowboys are in first place, the Eagles look like a disaster, Washington looks like a disaster, although a huge congratulations to Alex Smith for returning to the NFL and returning to NFL action specifically on Sunday. An inspirational story Alex Smith is, but in reality, that football team is a disaster, as mentioned. And the New York Giants are a disaster, although they did beat, the Cowboys for a lot of this game. They didn't beat them ultimately, but, one of my bold predictions entering this game, the Giants had 3 touchdowns on the season before they visited the Cowboys, and I predicted that they would match that offensive output, and sure enough, they did. Think about this. The New York Giants scored 3 touchdowns in 4 games. We've talked about this. They didn't score a single touchdown since week 2, and they managed to match their offensive output in 1 game against the Dallas Cowboys. And so it's hard, in that respect to trust this team. But beyond that, even if you can get over that and you can get over the awful special teams that we're seeing, it's hard to have any faith in Andy Dalton because he's Andy Dalton. I mean, he was serviceable for the Cincinnati Bengals for some time. Obviously, they moved on so they could draft Joe Burrow number 1 overall. But I don't know. I think it's fair to be sad, and I think it's fair to be mad, and I think it's fair to be frustrated because Dak Prescott should have a long-term deal, and now this creates a more awkward conversation when he and his representation have to go back to the negotiating table in the offseason, and it sucks, and you can say that, and it sucks, and we all want the Cowboys to do well. We all want them to win. We all want to celebrate together, but we can admit and we can acknowledge when things are just not right, and there's something really unsettling about this injury to Dak Prescott, somebody who does it the right way, a role model. He is literally, if you could dream up the sort of perfect player to root for and be the center and the face of your favorite team, in many ways, if not always, it would be Dak Prescott. And so it's a big bummer to watch him go out and to be unavailable to his team. Obviously, it's likely that you saw many people around the NFL, around the sporting world, around the world in general, share their respect and admiration for Dak and wish him well in his recovery. And so this is a bummer. This is a big bummer, and it's kind of hard. We're struggling here to just get through this because that's what it is. The Cowboys, yeah, okay, they've got Amari Cooper, who's been kind of disappointing in a weird way. They've got Michael Gallup, who's really turning into a superstar. They've got CeeDee Lamb, who has been a superstar since day one. They've got Zeke Elliott, and maybe they'll return to kind of running the ball, but now they're down. They're starting left tackle, they're starting right tackle, they're starting quarterback. Their starting center at least, is out for maybe at least 2 more weeks, with Joe Looney being on injured reserve, although Tyler Biadasz did look okay in this game. They're down their starting middle linebacker in Leighton Vander Esch, and who knows what happens when he returns. They're down their starting cornerback in Chidobe Awuzie. Will he return soon? We don't know. And so, do we believe in the Cowboys as a football team is one question, and then even if we can get past that, it's do we believe in the Cowboys as a football team with Andy Dalton as their quarterback as opposed to Dak Prescott? This is a unique spot for Cowboys fans to be in, and unfortunately, we are sort of experienced in dealing with franchise quarterbacks going down with season-ending injuries. It happened to Tony Romo not once but twice in 2015, and it happened to Tony Romo in 2010. Actually, it was a home game against the New York Giants when the Cowboys were trying to get their second win of the season when Tony Romo got hurt, and so there's some weird connection there, and that was kind of a weird part of this whole circumstance as well. You had Mike McCarthy and Jason Garrett, Dak Prescott's only 2 coaches, concerned for him on the field. Tony Romo, the quarterback who he replaced on the call, there was just a weird level of coincidence to what was happening in this moment, and I think we're all still kind of shocked about it. Dak Prescott's gone, and that's a really tough reality for this football team, and they do have a lot of talent, and the Cowboys have handed out a lot of long-term contracts to players that were not named Dak Prescott, and those are the guys that are going to have to step up. DeMarcus Lawrence is going to have to step up. He really did. I mentioned that Anthony Brown fumble return for a touchdown. That was a sack by DeMarcus Lawrence, so kudos to him, but he is going to have to be a leader on this team for the foreseeable future, as is Jalen Smith, and we've spent a lot of time around the internet really having some thoughts about Jalen, to be frank and to be honest, and I thought Jalen played extremely well. This looked like 2018 Jalen Smith. He was all over the place. He really just had some incredible moments, was able to sniff out a lot of things defensively, and really was the leader of the Dallas Cowboys defense in this particular game. It's time for Ezekiel Elliott. You know, we saw a drop, a ball that went off Zeke's hands, that ended up as an interception, returned all the way for a touchdown by the New York Giants. It's time for Zeke to step up. It's time for the players that Dak Prescott has carried for a long time to do the carrying themselves, and if they're able to, the Cowboys might have a chance this season because they are in such a porous division, and if they're not, if they're not, it's going to be a fun fall and winter season, is it not? But whatever happens, we of course will have you covered at bloggingtheboys.com, your home for the latest and greatest in the world of America's teams. We'll have you covered right here on the official Blogging the Boys YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing. And while you're subscribing to things, make sure you subscribe to the official Blogging the Boys podcast network. You get 2 episodes every single day, one every 12 hours, because things are always happening in the world of the Dallas Cowboys, and we want to make sure you are up to date. Dak Prescott, get well. We love you. We're rooting for you, and we can't wait to see you back on the field again. The Dallas Cowboys are in first place in the NFC East, and they host the Arizona Cardinals next week on Monday Night Football. It's going to be interesting to say the very least. We'll see you next time.